Hi everyone! It's really hard to believe we're already halfway of this semester. Congratulations and welcome to the first chapter. Now let's listen to several short pieces with a question in mind. The question here is, when listening to any types of music, how do we describe the relationship between one note to another one? With those several examples, let's think about the question earlier. How do we describe the relationship between two notes? So in this chapter, we're gonna learn the relationship between two notes. It's called intervals. It means either two notes occur next to each other or occur at the same time. Whenever it comes to two notes, intervals tell us all about the relationship features between two notes. An interval is the distance between two notes. There are two types of intervals, the harmonic interval and melodic interval. When the two notes occur at the same time, this interval is called harmonic interval. We can see that the two notes occur at the same time. One is either above or below another one. So this is called harmonic interval. If I play some harmonic intervals on the keyboard, it's going to be like whatever two notes that occur at the same time. But melodic interval is just the opposite of the harmonic interval, that they don't occur at the same time. Instead, one note occurs before the other, and we can see that another one is just following the first note. When playing any melodic intervals, two notes are separated, like So after knowing what is interval, the next question is going to be, how do I identify intervals? Here, I'm going to tell you that we identify intervals by two features. One is their size and another one is their quality. We're just going to talk about the interval size in this lesson, and the quality we're going to talk about in the following lessons. So the interval size, the size of an interval is the number of steps it contains, or we can see the different letter names it spans. Here we ignore any accidentals. What does it mean by disregarding any accidentals? For example, let's see this example. This is F and this is G. Because the definition of the interval size is the different letter names it spans, so for here, this interval contains 1 F, 2 G. So it just contains two letter names. So the size is 2, right? But if we contain any accidentals like F sharp or G flat, there are gonna be a lot more of steps. So here we ignore any accidentals. Let's take another example. This is C and this is F. From C to F, C, B, A, G, F. So it contains 5 units. And from A to F, it contains 6. Now let's give the sets a name. If an interval just contains a single step or the two notes are sharing one letter name, it's called unison. Two notes have the same letter name or they lie on the same line or in the same space. They are called unison. But remember that the actual number of the semitone between them may vary. What does that mean? It may contain no semitone at all, like they can be exactly the same notes, like these two are all D. And if we write this as A flat and A sharp, then these two notes contains even three semitones, but they still called unison because they are sharing one letter name and they lie on the same space. So, how many semitones an interval contains is more about the quality of this interval, which we will talk more in the following lessons. But in this lesson, just keep it in mind and we will just learn how to count the sides. So the inequality is not very important here. Then we go for a second. A second contains two steps and consists of notes with adjacent letter names. For example, A, the A's adjacent number is B, so these two are a second. This interval is called a second. Or from E to D is also a second. The actual number of the semitone between them may also vary, but it doesn't matter with the size, it just matters with the quality. So how to recognize a second? One note is on the space and the other is on the adjacent line, or one note is on the line and another is on the adjacent space. Then we go for a third. A third contains three steps, or we can say that it spans three letter names. For example, from F to A, because F, G, A, it contains three letter names, so this is a third. Take another example. This is B, C, D. This is B and this is D. So it also contains three letter names. How to recognize a third is by saying the two notes are on the adjacent lines or adjacent space. Like those two notes are lying on the adjacent lines and those two notes are lying in the adjacent space. All of those can either be written as harmonic intervals or melodic intervals. And the remaining intervals like the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, or even octaves also calculated in the same way. For example, from F to B, we calculate as F, G, A, B. It spans four letter names, so it is called a fourth. And for fifth, like from A to E, we write it out as A, B, C, D, E. It spans five letter names, so this is a fifth. The rights are all calculated in the same way. Until the octave, which means two exactly same notes in the different octaves, such as G to G or E to E, even if how many semitones it contains may vary, but the size just doesn't matter with how many semitones it contains. The size is only about how many letter names it spans or how many steps it contains. So in this lesson, we've learned what is interval, and we know there are harmonic interval and melodic interval. In the next lesson, we're gonna dive deeper into intervals, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!